footsie with Ukraine and NATO and now wants you to forget. I don't think so. This new world order...
Talk about new expanded manufacturing capacity and to invest in America itself in manufacturing, climate resilience, clean energy, so America can win the competition of the 21st century.
We left out, and this was not intentional, we just did it by accident, maybe the key portion of the entire interview where we asked, as journalists, what do you think of the ladies of The View? Here's what he said. Joy Behar took a tumble on the path onto the set of The View the other day.
You're like, there is a God.
Come on, just stop, just stand.
Let me tell you, these chairs are getting... Who do I sue? Who do I sue?
And I'm sure I'll tumble one day. I'm sure I have, but you know, I'm still going to enjoy it. Of course, and just like a proper granola-crat. You know, the first thing she says when they turn the camera is like, "Who do I sue?" It's like, God.
Have you ever met Joy Behar?
No. But you know what? I'd hang out with her, have a beer and sit down.
Yeah.
We'd probably have a great conversation. You know, even if I tell somebody to go F themselves or this, that, and the other, I'd still sit down with them, cut it up. I'm positive no matter somebody on this earth, there's very few people I couldn't sit down with and find more in common than we have more not in common.
NATO, we need to stop telling the Russians what we won't do. We need to be very clear that we are considering all options.
People talk about a no-fly zone when they can create their own if we give them the military equipment and weapons.
There's a lot I think we can do to help Ukraine shoot down those Russian aircraft, bring down those missiles.
If they need more, we ought to give them more. Look, this is a way to have a no-fly zone in effect, to have these weapon systems, ground-to-air weapon systems, give them a fighting chance.
If there's a chemical weapons attack by the Russian military against the Ukrainian people, we should impose a no-fly zone immediately.
Janice Rogers Brown.
Yes, I do know her.
Did you know that Joe Biden actively filibustered Janice Rogers Brown?
I did not know that.
There are two standards going on here. If you're an African-American conservative woman, you're fair game to have your life turned upside down, to be filibustered no matter how qualified you are. And if you express your faith as a conservative, all of a sudden you're an effing nut. Look at the friggin' Afghan government. It's made up of former detainees at Gitmo. This whole thing by the left about this war ain't working.
Let me also note that Larry Thompson, who served as Deputy Attorney General under...
So, Judge Jackson, all of us will agree that no one should be discriminated against because of race. When you just testified a minute ago that you didn't know if critical race theory was taught in K through 12, I will confess I find that statement a little hard to reconcile with the public record.
I do not believe that any child should be made to feel as though they are racist or though they are not valued or though they are less than, that they are victims, that they are oppressors. I don't believe in any of that.
And I'll confess, Judge Jackson, as I listened to your testimony, I believe you are someone who is compassionate. I believe you care for children, obviously your children and other children. But I also see a record of activism and advocacy as it concerns sexual predators that stems back decades and that is concerning. You say requirements that sex offenders register may or may not be unconstitutional depending upon whether, quote, in which sex offenders have no privacy right in registration information or blood samples. So you suggest that may or may not be constitutional, although you raise doubts about it. Do you still agree with the sentiments you expressed in your law school note?
Respectfully, Senator, those are not the sentiments that I expressed in my law school note.
Now the hearings will continue.